Peter, welcome to the program. It's great to catch up with you again, and it's certainly been pretty chilly, and that southerly through almost both islands really has just put a bit of a chill into spring, hasn't it?
Certainly has. It's certainly, I think a comment made by one of my team yesterday was winter's come back the first week of October, so it has been quite cold, but we know at this time of the year it's not going to last. So we've had some good grass growth in big parts of the country through late September, reflected in the markets a little bit, but not as much as probably we'll see once the grass really starts to grow. Farmers, I think, still utilising good feed around the country to put weight on stock. We're seeing, numbers coming out probably similar to last year, but certainly prices, particularly for sheep, are a lot stronger than last year.
And the tallies, what sort of figures are we looking at? Is it pretty much the same in both islands?
Yeah, pretty much. I think the South Island's always a little bit slower than the North. Certainly, I think the very high prices in August for lambs bought a lot of lambs out, which means we've seen a slower number through the month of September. I suppose you can't sell them or can't kill them twice. So when the price was so strong in August, a lot of farmers took advantage of that. So. But the outlook for sheep meat's still very strong, and the outlook for beef is strong as well. So, I think farmers are starting to realise that these prices are probably here for a little while. So there's not that urgency to sell, or the price might drop tomorrow. Certainly we'll see seasonal fluctuations, but the global demand, particularly out of China and Asia, is incredibly strong at the moment.
And as far as lambing's concerned, do you get a bit of a gauge on how that's going this season? Is it? It's I suppose been pretty good weather-wise. It hasn't been too cold.
Yeah, I think. We haven't got a lot of direct feedback. I think generally what we're seeing is the comment that's been made was it's a good lambing, reasonably good survival rate. So. I don't think this late cold weather will have had too much of an impact through the south, but sometimes these late storms can really catch people out, particularly in the South Island when they lamb a bit later than the north. But general feedback is, no one's sort of shouting from the rooftops that it's fantastic, but everyone's sort of saying, good solid lambing, which is once again sort of feeds well into what is a good sheep price and good lamb price going forward. So
I suppose that's the issue, isn't it, with New Zealand these days, of course, with both beef and lamb, is that we sort of can't get enough of it. The lamb figures have dropped away, and you could see that over time that will bounce back with these good prices, or it'll take too long?
Personal view here, Mark, is I don't think we're going to see suddenly a whole lot of people going back into sheep. I just don't think that will happen. I think sheep is clearly there's a higher workload in managing sheep and running sheep, and I think you've got to remember that we've got less sheep numbers, but our actual net kilos of meat exported is not a lot different to what it was when we had sort of 60 million sheep to what it is now that we've got 27 million sheep. So a lot more efficiencies in the sheep industry, heavier lambs, better carcass weights, very strong genetics being used. So the business is different to what it was 30 years ago, and I think the efficiencies are there. So when you actually look at the amount of net sheep meat that's exported, not a lot different when we had twice as many sheep. So that really shows how good we've got at actually farming them. I think in the beef industry, if I look at the beef numbers, the traditional beef numbers are, they've dropped away over the last few years. They've stabilised the last two. But, once again, my pet hobby horse, we need to get more beef out of the dairy industry. Killing bobby calves is ultimately a waste of beef. And I know that, we're always going to have some, but there's opportunities, on my view, for us to try and create more beef out of dairy. And you're right, we haven't got enough for the world markets at the moment. And, it would be nice to have more of it. But it's great to see farmers being rewarded, particularly the sheep farmers that have stuck with it, because it's been, they've seen some pretty lean years over the last 10 years. This is great to have. Looks like a second season of very strong prices for them.
Fantastic. Now let's have a look at some of your products. We've got, of course, deferrable. Tell us about that.
Yeah, deferrable. I've spoken about this before. Farmers, particularly dairy farmers, looking for bulls, for tail-out bulls. Buy the bulls today. Pay for them when you're finished with them. Sort of talk to your agent. Very simple form to fill out. Very easy to action. And the team, it's a good product. Team are very familiar with it, so very simple and easy to use. And our Go products, we're in a position now where our Go products, there's opportunity for people to use those at reasonably high levels again. Most of the lambs that were on it through the winter months have now been killed, so there's some flexibility there. So farmers looking to trade stock and finish stock, talk to your local agent about the Go products, because they're certainly available now. And again, very simple product to use, not pages of forms to fill out, and so very simple and easy to use. And as I say, both products out there in the market now. Talk to your local agent if you want to use them.